The snow may have been problematic for people headed back to work after the holiday, but some folks were really excited to see all the snow.
It was just enough to head outside for some winter fun. Haven't had much of that so far this season. KCCI's Marcus McIntosh is live in Des Moines with a look at the play and work resulting from the snowfall. Marcus?
Ben and Stacy, we're in a neighborhood north of I-235 near Drake University where you see there's still snow on the ground and there's still a lot of snow in the grass. Now, earlier today, we were at Waveland Golf Course where people there were just simply having fun jetting down the hills. But we also learned Thursday's snowfall is big business to some. Late Thursday morning, we pulled into the Waveland Golf Course parking lot and met Jamia Weatherford and Abby Lederman.
Right when it was snowing this morning, I was so happy. Right away, I knew I wanted to go sledding.
The friends were not putting around. They were waiting for this day when enough snow would fall, allowing them to get a fix of winter fun.
We're going to have so much fun. We're going to be going down the hills and taking photos.
They were not alone. There were some kids at Waveland who powered down the hills on snow scooters. Sledding by the state capitol looked like fun, but seemed to end with harmless wipeouts. Thursday's snowfall was not all fun and games. Some Central Iowans knew when they saw the snow falling, it meant they were going to have to put in some work.
I was going to be in for some shoveling.
Scott Nathanson thought about getting out his snowblower, but not enough snow fell to meet his snow-blowing standard.
Probably about 4 inches or more, yep.
Central Iowans shoveling snow we spoke with Thursday morning say it is much ado about nothing, telling us snowfall in Iowa during the winter comes as no surprise.
We get some degree of snow every year, and so this is definitely not a big deal.
Now, when the snow started falling this morning, some were seeing dollar signs because there are people and businesses who get paid to remove snow from sidewalks and driveways. We're live in Des Moines. I'm Marcus McIntosh, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
It was a lot of fun to see a lot of folks having fun out there in that snow. Marcus, thanks. Well, the deadline for states looking to participate in the federal summer EBT program has passed. And Iowa food pantries and others are wondering where Iowa stands.
A spokesperson for Iowa HHS told KCCI the department informed the USDA Tuesday that it will submit another waiver request for the state's own summer feeding demonstration project.
KCCI's Kayla James spent the day working to learn what this means for our state. Kayla?
Well, Ben and Stacy, hunger fighting organizations are grateful the state acknowledges there's a need, but aren't too sure if its plan will be approved by the USDA.
They've already said that they do not consider what the program that the governor is submitting to fall under summer EBT.
Which is why DMARC Policy and Advocacy Manager Luke Elzinga worries the governor's plan won't get approved. Her program looks to provide 3 monthly boxes to families, but Elzinga says the summer EBT program provides families with more flexibility.
We're talking about $29 million in nutrition benefits for Iowa's kids. It would only cost the state $2.2 million. I can't think of a similar return on investment for a program.
The summer EBT program gives eligible families $40 per month per child during the summer.
What you're actually looking at is that purchased food.
And the aid from the program is something DMARC's Blake Willitson says can go a long way, especially after 2024.
Our busiest day ever was one of the first days when school was out. One of the challenges when we look ahead to this summer is, this problem isn't going away.
In 2024, DMARC assisted more than 75,000 people, the most in its 50-year history.
So many of these folks are working families. They've got kids in the household.
The Iowa Hunger Coalition says 245,000 Iowa children would be eligible for the summer EBT program.
We can't just leave tools on the table. And as we look ahead to this summer, really want to see more options available to families here in the state of Iowa.
Elzinga says he does have a plan for what would come if the state did not make a move to participate in the summer EBT program.
We're planning to work with the Iowa legislature to see if we can get a bill introduced that would direct the state to participate in 2026.
Now, Elzinga says they did attempt that last year. He says despite the Democrats introducing bills, advocates did not have any success of getting bipartisan support. The USDA tells us it will update its website tomorrow with a list of states participating in the program in 2025.
Our first round of snow has pushed out and another is on the way this weekend. Who could see the most and the Frigidaire moving in along with it?
Is still following the breaking news. We're live at the scene of an officer-involved shooting in Des Moines. This is on Meadow Court, that's south of East Army Post Road. You can see multiple patrol cars, also officers at this location. KCCI will check back in with Pepper Papura at the scene when we come back.
Iowa's news leader, KCCI 8 News at 6.
We continue to follow breaking news in Des Moines. Police are at the scene of an officer-involved shooting on the south side of the city.
KCCI's Pepper Papura is live along Meadow Court. That's off Indianola Avenue. Pepper, what have you learned so far?
Well, Ben and Stacy, just about what you said, that this is on the south side of the city. It is an officer-involved shooting, and that it is said that the scene is secure, no further threat to this neighborhood. But we've been able to get a little bit closer of a view here. I'll step out. We've approached the police line where this incident unfolded. Back here, you can see that tape and this gathering of officers right here at one of the vehicles. It appears to have happened in front of one of the homes right here. But even though we're waiting on a little bit further information right now, it's very clear to me, just looking around, that this is really impacting some of the people in this area. So often we see people wandering around scenes like this, wanting to know what happened. Not here. People are in their homes. They're peeking through windows before going back and watching our coverage here on the news, and very much pushing themselves inside and kind of waiting this out as they're continuing to investigate this scene, and really speaks to how rattled that this community is right now. But as we get live updates, and we are hoping to get an update soon here, we'll bring you the latest right here on KCCI. We'll be out here. Just keep tuning in with us for now. In Des Moines, Pepper Papura, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
And KCCI's Bo Bowman is also live along Meadow Court as Des Moines police investigate this officer-involved shooting.
Bo, what are you seeing? And it sounds like you're with someone who can give us a little bit more insight.
Well, Ben and Stacy, in just a few minutes here, we're going to hear from Sergeant Parizek. We're setting up to do a news conference to hopefully learn a few more of those details. If we're good to go, I think we're going to wait a few minutes. But just to give you a little bit more information about what we do know at this point is that it's on Meadow Court. It's still a very active investigation. The police officers and investigators that are here are still working to learn some of that information, but you can see it's very active. Dozens of squad cars were responding here. Fire trucks on our way down here on Southeast 14th. There were about a dozen to 2 dozen squad cars, fire trucks ready to go, get down here. Very chaotic drive down here. I think we're ready to go to Sergeant Paul Parizek with Des Moines PD to get a little bit more information now. Sergeant, what can you tell us that you guys know right now?
So everything's preliminary. This may change as we learn a little bit more, but we had officers come down to this home to do a wanted check. There's a person that had felony warrants at this home. They did encounter him. We know that there was 2 officers that fired. He is deceased inside the home, and there is a gun there that isn't ours. So we're going to work and figure out if there was an exchange of gunfire, what exactly happened. But obviously when these situations occur, this is us responding to a threat. And that's pretty much what we know right now, but we'll try and learn more as we go on, get you some more tonight.
Yeah. How are the officers that were involved in the shooting?
Physically, they're fine. You know, this is obviously a very traumatic incident and something that we never want to happen, but we have to deal with it when it's presented to us. We know that this is a risk that we take, but right now they're physically fine, and we'll be moving forward from there to see what we can do to help them out and help the family of everybody involved here.
Was there anyone next door at the time?
I don't know about next door. There was someone else in the home at the time, but I don't know if there were neighbors home.
Just the one person who was shot?
Yes. Yeah.
Anybody else taken into custody?
No. No, we've got witnesses that we're going to need to interview, and like we would any other investigation, and we've all talked about this, unfortunately, several times in the past few months. These are very involved and detailed investigations. The DCI will be inviting them to help us out here and take care of that part. But for right now, what we know is what I've shared with you, and that's all preliminary. Something may change. I expect we'll add more detail as time goes on, but this should get you through the night, and then we'll get an update to you as soon as we can.
Perfect. Appreciate it, Sergeant. Last question, is this the only scene involved in this, or was there any other?
Yes. As I understand it, the officers came here looking for the person with felony warrants.
Gotcha. Appreciate your time.
What's that? Oh, yeah. You good? I'm good. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Unfortunate circumstances. Hey, like I said, we need to make this bigger.
So we just heard from Sergeant Parizek there. The officers responded to this townhouse here, I guess you could call it, for a suspect on a felony warrant, and they're still trying to figure out exactly how fire was exchanged, but still very active scene. They're going to continue to look at this throughout the night and give us some more information in addition to what we just heard from Sergeant Parizek there. Sounds like in the morning is that next update.
All right, Bo, thank you very much. KCCI first brought you this breaking news online. You can follow any breaking developments on our KCCI mobile app. We will also have new information for you on air and online as we learn new details.
All right, Jason, so the other story we've been following closely throughout the day has been the arrival of some winter weather. We had the snow earlier, and it sounds like we've got some cold temps coming in tonight.
Oh yeah, winter's coming in full force. I mean, we got just kind of a little of a taste, and now cold sprinting in. We're going to have snow for some of us. So let's get right to it here. You can see out there now, it's pretty quiet on your Super Doppler 8. Skies have actually cleared out a little bit for us, and you can see the snow that we had earlier has since departed off into Illinois, and that's going to continue to make its way on out. So as we head throughout the evening, it's looking like a pretty quiet night. Skies partly cloudy, we'll call it, and heading into your day tomorrow, looks like we could see quite a bit of sunshine. So should feel pretty good, though it is going to be cold. And then after that, we start to see clouds filter their way in. 7 o'clock in the morning. No snow on Saturday yet, but as we push later on into Saturday evening, you can see an area of snow builds in the southern portion of the state. That is going to continue into overnight Sunday and for much of the day on Sunday as well. If you're north of I-80, you may not see a snowflake out of this, but if you're south of I-80, depending how far south you are, you could pick up on some accumulating snow as this pushes its way through. So still a lot to take into consideration here. We've got that area of low pressure to the south that's been driving in that moisture. And latest model trends have even tracked this just ever so gently further to the south. That would mean less snow for us as an area of high pressure continues to try and battle this. So this is going to keep those skies to the north clear, but also driving in that drier, colder air, which could eat away at some of those snowfall amounts along I-80 and even just south of it. So it's going to be the tale of two systems here, depending on how these unfold and how these track as to what we're looking at for snowfall totals as we head into Sunday. Again, right now, heaviest looks to be through northern portions of Missouri. Could we see that inch up? Sure. Time will tell, though, as models come into better agreement as to where the heaviest of that will fall. But some takeaways for you. The total's still not nailed down. The track and timing have been a little bit all over the place with this system. So until those come together, we won't have an exact snowfall forecast for you, but we do have an idea of where the heaviest is. Again, that is going to be in northern portions of Missouri, and we are, of course, going to keep an eye on this for any shifts over the next couple days to see where that heaviest snow will land. But for tomorrow, we're in the low 20s. We have got sunny skies out there to go along with that, and your 8-day forecast keeping it cold. We are weather impact for your Sunday forecast as we'll have that chance for snow mainly for that southern third or so of the state. After that, well, those temperatures continue to drop. We're down to 13 on Wednesday, back close to freezing on Friday. We'll have more coming up after this break.